Guys, how is it going? Friday. Few of you are probably enjoying a 4-day week. End off. Good for you. I decided to, go hang out for a little while. It was great. What are we looking at today? Well, you'll know because there'll be a title there, but as it stands right now, I got a beer mail in, like, literally. Oh, and her? This is what happens on some vague searches. I was looking for, I didn't even think about it until after I hit enter. I was, trying to find some attractive women along with anything that was Thanksgiving related. So I used, girls and turkey. Well, she's from Turkey. That works. It's a flag. Okay, so a beer mail from NYHAP, and I knew he was going to be sending some of the new 5 bean from 6 Point. First there was 3 bean, then there was 4 bean, and then, voila, there's 5. So next year, I'm guessing 6 bean. But on top of that, he sent more things, which is always cool. He sent me a fresh 1050 of the things that he sent. This is the only thing that I've had before. That's cool. He sent a beer dedicated to Hillary Clinton. It's called Consolation Prize. It's a double IPA, 9.5%. Then something called Leaning Chimney, a smoked porter from Gray Sail Brewing of Rhode Island. And I tell you, I don't know how big of a brewery this is, but it feels like there's probably some dude that sits and goes like this. Maybe it's done by a machine, but it's a peel and stick label on a can. Leaning Chimney. Oh, and in case you're wondering, there's the Leaning Chimney right there. Excuse me. And then something called Electric Cucumber. Harvest Cucumber Saison. Re-fermented in the bottle. You're supposed to serve it between 45 and 50 or less. And you're supposed to pour hard. So, I'll put on some midget porn, and then we'll open this up. Oh yeah, it's got all sorts of love on the bottom. And last, and definitely not least, a lot of you guys know I'm not a gigantic Guinness fan, but I understand that the difference between the stuff made here and the stuff made there is a world of difference. And this is their Antwerpen Stout. I've actually, I had actually not heard of this until NYHAP asked me if I had heard of it. And this is a 8%. And actually a more sought after beer. What can I tell you about it? It was actually brewed, product of Ireland, brewed by Guinness for Belgium originally, and it's not a new beer. I don't know how new it is to us, but it's supposed to be the shit. And I was honestly undecided between doing this like I said, you already know. As of this moment in time, I haven't decided, but I think we're gonna do the 5 bean. I know he sent extra of these because one of Christine's really good friend, Wendy, is a huge fan of that, and I think we're gonna take a look at that now. But if I get an opportunity to get her over here, and you know, maybe, I don't know if she'll join me in a brew review or not. I mean, she's probably would. She's pretty outgoing. One plus about this is it best served in a glass. Well, I think that's the case for all beers. This is actually not I think the truck was, yeah, we're at like 59, so it'll probably be a lot better for the flavors in this. She's Turkish. That's what happens when you look up Turkey and girls. You run across shit like that.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Okay, so here it is back on the internet again. Wishful thinking?
Yeah.
They said that they're going to start recounting them as of today.
Well, they had, yeah, another attempt for Hillary to be president. Some third party has asked for a recall or recount.
Are they going to grant it? The request?
I don't think they have a choice. It had to be in by 5 o'clock today. I've noticed, unless there's massive fraud, that usually the recount just fortifies the position of the person that had already won. But
so they're going to do Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania.
Maybe they should do a recount in New York and California.
It wasn't Hillary, it was Jill Stein that did it. That's not the request. I don't know who that chick is.
Third party.
Is it really going to make any difference?
No. Like I said, unless there's fraud, which this government only knows fraud. Got to listen to the recap of Obama saying that the majority of people in the United States are really happy with the job that I've done. I mean, every time he gets in front of a camera now, it's like...
Who said that?
Obama.
And I see we're still rioting. It's been how long now?
Well, you know, they don't have jobs.
Wow. Must be rough. Okay. I just thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, I heard it on the national news.
You can't even see the flashlight. Oh, there.
You see it on...
With the highest setting?
On low.
Or on the lowest?
On the light scale, it's actually kind of wimpy.
Mm-hmm.
It's wimpy on the light scale. My lightsaber sliced right through it. Okay. As a shock, it smells like
beer,
coffee, and vanilla beans. It smells like beer. Thanks. See you guys tomorrow.
I'm out of here.
Here's a question left for NYHAP, which I could probably just go to 6 Point's website. If they they went from having 3 bean to 4 bean to 5 bean, do they still make 3 bean or 4 bean? My guess is probably not. Whoa. There's a buttload of flavor going on there. I would say if you don't like coffee, chocolate, or vanilla, I know I'm going backwards here, but it's what I'm experiencing now. After you've taken a drink and sat and shot the shit and looked at a girl from Turkey, what remains is almost like you just got done licking the filter of a coffee maker. Unlike the 1050, it has I would say a medium light mouthfeel. It doesn't have a really thick, malty like the 1050 kind of, where you imagine if you stood a fork in it, it'd stand up. It's not that. I can tell, man. I can tell by the way she's looking at me. She wants it. Semi-sweet, not real sweet. Not really much at first. And then you get a underline. You know, I tell you, last year, the thing I remember about the 4 bean is a more heavy vanilla, almost like the mash vanilla. This, it's kind of like not really much, just kind of a really heavy roasted malts, and all of a sudden it's like the elevator drops into the basement, and what's left behind is like a light milk chocolate and a dark chocolate, almost like a baker's chocolate. Not quite that dry bitter, but right in there. And everything at the end is all real intense roasted coffee flavors. And this is 10% also. Let's do some comments. This is not going to be an hour. We are not going to be calling my little buddy Christopher. Steven was asking me about this. I don't remember. Now I don't even remember the brand that you asked me if it was, but I believe this is the one that you are interested in, which means I will get this packaged up and off to Stephen Bush. My goal is to get everything I said I was going to get out. I did not get done in time to make it to the post office. I would have been there before they closed, but my cutoff for my post office is, I think it's 3:15, and I would not have made it in time to get Bobby your package out. So I'm getting it packaged up tonight, and I think they are open until 12:30 or 1 o'clock tomorrow, so that will be en route to you. Then Rob over at Pop's Quest can get his dog tags. Oh yeah, sorry. NYHAP sent me 2 of the leaning chimneys. And then need to get all the dog tags packaged up. I need to verify that everybody that's getting one, that I have their addresses. Comments. Not sure if I read. This would have been on Amber Ale. Ammohead 73. I'm fucking bloated with turkey and beer. 45th assholes. On the Amber, I carry one. I'm betting that breathalyzer is defective. In fact, after watching this, I'm sure of it. Now on to the vanilla or mashed vanilla from the brewery. First was NYHAP. Second was Ed. Third was Christopher, Alone with Company. Fourth was DFC. Fifth was Brad Thomas saying Happy Thanksgiving, Eric. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, Brad. Oh good, Chuck with the essay along with the edited essay. Study this chart until I get back in the morning. Talking about the lowlifes and get free stuff while standing in a room packed with things you didn't buy. That's rich. Taka on the way? Just leave vanilla spelled wrong in the title. It's Agent Grade, fuck you, and the pony someone gave you that you rode in on here. Muzzle Tov says Happy Thanksgiving. Muzzle Tov, Happy Thanksgiving. Little Company, my internet sucks. Yeah. And I also appreciate that every single time, because we continue talking after the brew review is over, and whenever you had to go grab something, it was nice of him to aim the camera in a different direction, so I didn't get to actually prove that he had no pants on. Lost Prop Nuts, 9th. Bulwark, 1911. I ate my weight in turkey and stuffing. Now I have to poop to make room for pumpkin pie. Bulwark, answering his own, it's okay, Eric, I took a dump, now I have room for pie. Multi-Gunman. That's a nice photo of Pocahontas. P.S. Whiskey. Stainless 4-5. Those Vikings nosedive, man. Yeah, I didn't watch it at all. You know when I knew the season was over? When they were, 5-0? And hadn't lost a preseason game? And some dumb fuck sports announcer says, they look Super Bowl bound. I was like, yeah, that was it. That was the last time they win. Pretty much right there. Ed, you say F Ed. Cheers, my brother. Great review. Can't wait to try out the Hubert Trigger. Gotta love brew and guns. I can't wait to try out the Hubert Trigger either. Pretty sure I'll take the national match out of my the Justin Fitch rifle. I mean, if you guys that have shot, well, here's the two for instances. Back within literally hours of each other, I was told by Timney that they were going to send me one of their drop-in triggers for the Mosin. About 5 seconds later, John Huber calls, and he's all excited and wants to not only send the trigger, but he was willing to drive up here and install the thing in my Mosin. And I know I've made this comment. At the time, you just assume that something all anodized red and shiny, and you just, well, it didn't work as a drop-in anyway after all the extra shit that had to be done. I ended up having to cut up my stock to make room for the safety switch that was on it. Knowing what I know now, the rifle itself has a safety. I should have just cut the stupid arm off of that Timney in the first place. But having said that, John Huber's trigger looks just like, well, not just like, virtually looks just like a stock Mosin trigger. So I've got a company that's sending out this futuristic looking supposedly adjustable drop-in cartridge style trigger, and then I've got one that looks just like the one that I already have. And I foolishly think that the cat's meow is going to be the Timney. I personally thought the Timney was a piece of shit. Wasn't reliable, wasn't able to achieve the numbers for which they stated that you could dial it down to. Anytime I got below 3.5 pounds, the gun would basically just fire when you closed the bolt. If you had a live round in it, it's like a controlled drop. The hammer or the firing pin was going forward, but it wasn't fast enough. I don't think the gun would have even fired if you would have just slapped the bolt down that would allow the firing pin to move forward. So it wasn't a safety issue there. It just wasn't. The gun, you couldn't reset the gun. Half the time you'd go to close the bolt and the firing pin would go forward. And then when it didn't, if I stood here a foot off the ground and let go of it, and I'm standing on a mat, that was just enough of a jolt that it would fire. So, and then I put John's in there, and the last time I put that on a trigger scale, it was like 3/4 pound. It's not even a pound anymore. It was a 1.25 pounds, and as it's broke in, it's actually come down even more. So now I'm at like 3/4 pound on that, and firing pin never goes forward. It doesn't fire when you drop it onto the ground. So then, John Huber starts talking about creating an AR trigger, and I was just like, I've known the various things that have gone through his mind, not knowing if he'd ever pursue these directions. I'm going to talk about them, but some of them are kind of elaborate. Some of them required, custom bolt carrier and trigger working as one unit, and I told him that, you gotta I don't think you'll sell a shit ton of them if they're like $500, even though Christopher pointed out that the binary triggers are not cheap. But knowing that John is building a trigger solely for an AR-15 or AR-10, AR platform, any of you that have shot the BMG-50 know what he's capable of with almost not even trying. He took I want to say it scaled at 7.5 or 8 pounds on that mil-spec trigger that was in the BMG, and it's now 3 pounds, and that's mil-spec with no creep, no travel, just. And then the funny thing is nobody could even guess right. Everybody was guessing that it was like 2 pounds, 2.25, maybe 2.5 versus 3.5. So nobody would even believe it was 3.5 after trying it. So now he wants to make his own, and it's like, okay, well, knowing how he is, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be set or adjustable on weight. I know on his Remington 700 triggers, you basically you can order one. You can order one from him for £1. You can order one that you want 4.5, 4.25, for whatever. You pick the number, and he will actually build you that trigger. Let's just say you're always used to 1.5 pounds. he'll build a 1.5 pound Remington 700 for you. So I'm not exactly sure what the total concept is going to be on the AR, but I'm guessing it's going to be awesome. I'm guessing it's going to be lighter than most of the things that I have, which in some aspects is good and some it's not, so I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be something user adjustable or adjustable from him or just a mass quantity. Boom, they're all going to be 3 pound, you know, like the one in the giveaway. But I know it's probably going to be hands down the best AR platform trigger I've felt. That's just a guess going off of everything else that John has touched. So my Justin Fitch gun is the only AR that I have that would be set up for any kind of a distance. Any kind of distance you want a good trigger in it. Don't want to be pushing that gun all over the place. You want to know that the bullet is long gone before your bad techniques influence it, and that's what makes John's trigger so awesome. So, but I definitely would want to find a home in one of my other rifles. As the name suggests, I'd probably put that national match. It's a 2-stage national match and it breaks at 3¼ pounds. I'd probably put that in Project Overkill. But the mil-spec polish to all hell with the JP springs that's in it right now is set at I think I got that down to 3½ pounds. Smile Money I watched, but I was knocked out by the turkey before I could come up with a decent comment. So happy Thanksgiving to you and Christine, as well as Christopher. Thank you, my friend. Ed, happy Thanksgiving. E, now eat me. Bobby, happy Thanksgiving and God bless. God bless you too, Bobby. Salty Shellback, guys, happy Thanksgiving. Not to backtrack on all that, but anybody following the demanded recount, I guess I'd have to look at the Electoral College, but awfully suspicious that they're calling for a recount and then saying that Hillary Clinton could still become president. I'm going to put it this way. I know the will of the people has spoken, and we all know, and when I say we all, I especially mean Bulwark 1911. The reason that Hillary has not asked for any recounts is because of the levels of fraud that have taken place. It's almost something that can't be disputed. So I think if some bullshit sleight of hand takes place, and you try to circumvent what I know is the will of the people and not a bunch of whiny cunts, you will see the revolution. Mr. Bullet Points, have a great Thanksgiving. Everybody commented on this one. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good one. Decline 5179, thanks for the review, E. I was stuck in a house full of people trying to outlib each other. Oh, God. I tried to get the family Cocker Spaniel to maul me to death and end the nightmare. Shit. You know what I can honestly say is I am so happy to know that the libtard shit isn't very prominent. Christine's side of the family, off the top of my head, well, nobody that really matters. But her dad and her brother, I can guarantee you if we hung up Obama targets, they would get all shot to shit around those two. I'm hoping it helped a little bit. McLean. The Real Cobra Burnout, awesome vid tonight. Cheers. Yeah, you didn't even watch it. The Real Cobra Burnout. The Real Cobra Burnout is going to be my guest on Blog Radio. That's why I need to not have this be too much longer, so I can render it and get it uploaded before Blog Radio happens. So come over and enjoy the conversation between me and the Real Cobra Burnout. Ben N. Top 35. Hazman 440 New Amsterdam 100 proof vodka. Okay. John Solar 283 71st. Yep, stepping it up. Joey Cuz. I was going to make a Pocahontas joke, but the girl on screen, but that would be inappropriate. I have the sudden urge to play with her war drums. John Solar 283 mouthfeel and foreskin in the same sentence. Wow. The Hornet Fixer. I'm drinking Death Wish coffee, bourbon barrel coffee right now. Man, it's good. I'll thumbs that up. Hornet Fixer again. Oh, and fuck off. Fuck all the way off. Sharky762. Milk and turkey? Sure, why not? It works for Thanksgiving. Pocahontas was damn fine too. Nick. Still trying to catch up. Maybe tonight, not likely. Also, I don't think the screen pick meets the criteria for the usual want. Then again, who the fuck cares? Wowzers, anyway. Happy belated Turkey Day, Retardosaurus. Eat what you want, drink all the beer and whiskey, shoot the guns, basement pop, maybe. Be merry and free. Enjoy your weekend with lots of adult beverages. I think your liver fucked off and left you behind anyway. Cheers, Hoser. That was the last comment. I'm hitting the reload. And that stands as the last comment. Is this the well, I don't know what the it's an imperial stout. I don't know if what do they call it? A porter? A porter. Well, this is one of the heaviest hitting porters, brewed with natural flavors and with coffee added. Beer is culture. 5 beans. Well, I don't know if anybody cares. I know vanilla bean would be one of them. Coffee bean is definitely one of them. Coca, vanilla, coffee, and Pterodon? I can tell you this would go against the rules on my coffee. Beer, as cold as you can get it. This is definitely one where you want to let it warm up because you get to enjoy all those flavors. For a porter, it's definitely one of the heaviest hittings. As of right now, just going solely off of memory, I really like 3 bean. I thought that the vanilla was a little on the dominant side on the 4 bean that I had, and this one is my favorite of the run so far. 3, 4, and 5. I for a porter, okay, for a porter, it would just be fully up there. But I'm keeping it real, keeping it completely on the full E scale, going up against some of the biggest, baddest stuff. So keep that in mind. I'm going to give 5 bean from 6 Point a 9. I might even make an attempt to put a few of these ones away. I know I have to save. At least a couple for Wendy, or I'm a dead man, because she already knows. Already knows that they're happening. Okay, what should we look at tomorrow? Well, I'll tell you what. I want to look at the Antwerpen Stout from Guinness. So let's take a look at this one tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm getting out of here. Come and check out Blog Radio tonight. Hopefully you'll see this before that. Cheers.